Welcome to Night Owl Video episode number 1. I'm Stephanie Tierney. This is my new video channel talking about movies. Probably talk about some music down the road as well. Um, I'm going to talk about movies I've watched. I love thrifting for movies, so I'll probably down the road take you out with me on a thrifting trip, depending on my confidence, I guess. Some of the video stores are really tiny here, so it's really hard to probably record and talk about what I'm looking at and not look like a maniac. So I might record inside the store and then do like a voiceover or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this is episode number 1. I'm just getting over a cold, so I'm all stuffed up. But I was just so gosh darn excited to start this channel. I've been watching some other YouTubers. Well, I've been watching other YouTubers for like 2 years, but I've been watching a couple recently that got me really inspired to start my own channel. And so I thought, I'm just going to dive in. I was going to dive in. And I did a lot of legwork today. I went and got a new micro SD card for the memory on my phone so I could make longer videos. I had to do a bunch of moving furniture around and stuff just to get this all set up. So I was really into it. I'm really into it. And I hope my enthusiasm will stay. And so I am a person in the age bracket of 50 and over who grew up watching Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Raiders of the Lost Ark and all those movies back in the late 70s, early 80s. My first movie in the theater was Pete's Dragon, which I haven't seen that since I was like 7. Maybe I don't know if it was a good movie. I think it was a good movie. I think I liked it when I was a kid. But anyway, suffice to say, I've always loved movies. And I just happened to grow up in the 80s to be, being a teenager in the 80s, being like 12 and 13 in like 82, 83, when all of the movie stores were starting to open up, the VHS and just VHS stores, I guess, at that point. And so I was prime target audience for that stuff. So I really got into horror movies and cult movies thanks to my friend Sasha, who got me into David Lynch and Liquid Sky and all that kind of stuff, Jim Jarmusch and all that kind of stuff. So I just continue to always have a love for that. I started collecting movies more seriously about 2 years ago, I guess when the pandemic started. And I started collecting VHS and DVDs and some Blu-rays. And I got really into VHS again I think it was more of a nostalgia thing though, because then when I saw the quality of some of the tapes, I just kind of checked out. I was like, I can't do it. I guess I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that technology. I like clear pictures. I like clear sound. But I totally get why people love like the VHS. It's the nostalgia of it and the physical act of putting the tape in the machine and all that stuff. I totally get it. You can't really see it here, but well, maybe down here. I still do have some VHS that I've kept. Some of the weirder titles are ones that I haven't found on DVD to upgrade yet, so I still have those. So this channel primarily I'll be talking about movies I've watched. I'll probably take you out thrifting with me. And like I said, I'll get to that stage eventually. And I might do some, I don't know, I see a lot of people doing like those first reactions to movies and stuff, so that might be kind of fun to do with some of the movies I've never seen before. And but mostly I'll probably be talking about movies I've watched and movies I found when I'm out thrifting, which is something I just love doing. Like, I have to fight myself to not go out every single day. In fact, sometimes I've gone out multiple times in a day to see if they've restocked shelves and stuff. It's bad. Especially at the height of the pandemic, it was really bad. I was just like, it was not good. So anyway, so I'll probably include some of that in my future videos. And I don't know, let's just talk about movies. I love documentaries about movies and learning the history of the filming of certain movies and things like that. So maybe talk a bit about that as well. And I don't really go to the cinema much anymore. I went to see the Batman a few weeks ago, and I thought it was okay. I do love me some big budget blockbuster type movies as well. Don't take me as a like a cult movie snob. I'm not like one of those, but I do love some big dumb action movies. Don't get me wrong. So, but yeah, I haven't been to the cinema in a while. I think I saw Batman, and then before that, it was like over a year. I saw the Godzilla versus Kong movie on the big screen, which I'm glad I went to see on the big screen because it was pretty cool with the special effects and the color and everything. It was really wonderful. I love going to the movies and getting excited to see, when you see something and it blows you away, which doesn't happen as often as it used to, especially because I grew up in the 80s when all the really good stuff was made. But there's still occasionally some things that blow my mind. Mandy was a movie that blew my mind recently in the last year or two. If you get a chance to see that. If you like, no, I just put it out there, but if you like gory revenge weirdness, like that movie definitely would have been in the cult section of the video store in the 80s. There's no question about it. But anyway, I highly recommend that. Totally off topic. I'm going to have a sip of my delicious coffee out of my dog mug, which my aunt gave me back in the 90s, I guess. I'm still carrying it. It's my favorite mug, even though I've got a whole bunch of cool Star Wars mugs and stuff like that. But anyway, suffice to say, I'm a little older, so I'm more into like 70s and 80s movies. I'm definitely getting more into the stuff I didn't see back then, or trying to seek out some of the stuff I didn't see back then, because that's kind of a thrill. I love watching movies I've never seen before. Sometimes, obviously, you get disappointed, but that's beside the point. So today it was just kind of more of an introduction. I'm going to show you a couple of couple of DVDs I found recently out when I was out thrifting. Behind me is my horror movie collection, as I may have mentioned, or maybe I didn't. But it's grown quite substantially in the last 2 years. It's also shrunk a little bit because I've gotten rid of some that I bought that it turned out I didn't really like that much. Some I actually haven't even seen, like some of these ones in here, these whatever these are called, these killer creature double features, like these kinds of ones. I found a whole bunch of these at the thrift store, and I actually haven't even watched them yet. So there's a couple in here, or there's several in here that I haven't even watched. So I have to do a little catching up. But anyway, I digress. So 70s, 80s kid, video stores. I spent a lot of weekends at video stores renting movies, and it was cool back then because I just rented movies based on the cover art and what the box looked like. And I was really not that snobbish about it. I was just like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. I have no idea what it is. Like, I didn't know who Woody Allen was when I was 15. I was just like, oh, okay, this movie looks interesting, and it's in the cult classics section or something, and I just rent it. So I discovered a lot of stuff just kind of blindly, just taking a chance on things. So it was fun back then. It's not like it is now with streaming and all that, or like algorithms recommending movies to you. No, back then it was just like, I often say that about records too. You took your allowance and you went and bought a record. You had no idea if the rest of the record was going to be good. You knew that one song was killer, but you didn't know if the rest of the album was good, but you just bought it. And that's how it was. Sometimes you got lucky and sometimes you didn't. Trust me, Quiet Riot. So anyway, I'm going to talk about a few of my recent pickups at the thrift store, and then I will probably let you go. And then I will touch base with you in a couple of days. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to make a comment, make a comment. But try to be nice, okay? If you are a trans or queer cinephile, I would love to hear from you. I love to meet other folks in the community who are into this kind of stuff. Not to say that I don't like to meet some lovely people that are not trans and queer, but anyway, hopefully we'll be able to like network and stuff, because I know there are some other queer content creators out there who are talking about horror movies and stuff like that. So my hope is that maybe I can connect with you. If not, I'll just be here talking about movies. Just the way it's going to be, you know. So my first movie up is Mystery Train, the Jim Jarmusch movie from 1989. Sorry for the glare. This was a quality, previously viewed DVD. I found this at a lottery store, like a store that sells lottery tickets. They had a little bin of DVDs, and I found this in there for $1.99. They had resealed it, unfortunately. When I got home, I discovered that just take this out of the package, that the disc is all scratched up in the middle. It says scuffed. So I don't know if this is actually going to play or not, which is really sad. But it was $1.99, so I figured I'd take a gamble on it. If I could find this on VHS, I'd probably be really excited because it's one of those ones, like a cult. Jim Jarmusch, I love pretty much everything he's done. So that was kind of a gamble that I'm not sure if it's going to pay off yet or not. If it plays fine, I'm going to be very, very happy. And if it doesn't, well, I'll just keep looking. That's the first time I've ever seen that movie for sale out in the wild. So the next one I got was an upgrade for me, Clerks. I have it on VHS. Got it to the DVD. Maybe someday I'll get a Blu-ray of it, but I don't have to go on about Clerks, I don't think. Everyone knows Clerks and Kevin Smith. And it does include a Soul Asylum video, and I love me some Dave Pirner, so of course I'll be checking out that extra. The next movie I got is from the MGM Presents Midnight Movies series, Richard Boone in I Bury the Living. It's going to be so terrifying. 1957, black and white. The synopsis sounds hilarious. This is directed by Albert Band, who went on to be the executive director of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a movie I saw in the movie theater. That's how old I am. Yeah, I'm that old. Anyway, this says on the cover, people are dying to get into this place, and you can see there's a corpse sitting beside the grave. So I love that. I love that kind of. I love zombies. Return of the Living Dead, probably one of my favorite horror movies. The next one is also an upgrade, Platoon, Oliver Stone, starring Willem Dafoe, Tom Berenger, and Charlie Sheen. Probably my second favorite 80s war movie after Full Metal Jacket. This one's really, really good. This is an Academy Award winner for Best Picture in 1986 at the AMPAS. That's copyright AMPAS. This is a special edition. It has a documentary. It has audio commentary with director Oliver Stone, TV spots and stuff like that. So this is a really powerful movie. I haven't seen this in a long time, but the scene on the cover itself, I mean, if you've seen this movie, you know that scene. Like that is something. I'll try to keep this channel PG too. The next one I got is Midsummer as it looks, but I don't know why I bought this movie. It was only $1, but I grabbed it. It's from Ari Aster, who also did the equally disturbing movie Hereditary, or maybe even more disturbing in some ways. But both of those movies were really good. Midsummer was good, kind of a pagan, people that go into this weird pagan festival, which is like a cult. And it's really upsetting. I actually don't know if I'll keep this. It was just one of those ones I was like excited to see a horror movie in the thrift store for $1. But then when I got home, I was like, why? You're not gonna watch that movie? It's so upsetting. The next one I got was a brand new one. I got this at the Wally Mart. It's the 4-film Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry set. Obviously, it doesn't include the 5th one, which is the Deadpool, which also has, that's right, Jim Carrey's film debut, from what I remember. Deadpool was definitely the weakest of this series. I'm not talking about Ryan Reynolds, okay? Just in case you get confused. There was a Dirty Harry movie called Deadpool. The first 2, maybe 3 of these ones are unbelievable, okay? Like, 70s Clint Eastwood, he was so hot, and he was such a badass. And that gun, like, oh yeah, I'm all about that. My mom and I went to see The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly a couple years ago at a retro cinema, and we both came out, we're just like, oh my God, Clint Eastwood was so hot. Then So those are the ones I recently picked up. The one that I recently watched was this Fox double feature, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Fantastic Voyage. I liked one of them, and I did not like the other. Can you guess which one? Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea is the one I did not care for. It is mostly men sitting in a submarine, delivering exposition about what's happening and very little action. There's a terribly cheesy octopus type thing that they fight, and it's god awful. I think that went on to become a TV series, if I'm not mistaken. The one I loved, and I've loved since I was a little kid, was Fantastic Voyage with Raquel Welch and a young Donald Pleasance from the Halloween series. It's about some scientists who get shrunk down all mini inside their little shrunk down mini submarine, and then they get injected into a guy's body, and they have to go into his brain to fix some kind of thing that's wrong with his brain, this very important person. And so they have to go through the heart and all the ventricles and the veins and it's pretty, actually it's really exciting. I was, no word of a lie, I was actually like on the edge of my seat a couple of times watching that movie because it was like very thrilling and very like a lot of peril. Like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. It was really good though. So I would recommend Fantastic Voyage, but not Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. The movie I'm going to watch tonight or tomorrow night, I'm not sure yet, is The Meg from 2018. I know you're saying, really, you're talking about all those cool movies, and then The Meg is what you picked to watch next. I love me some underwater action. I just watched The Abyss a couple of weeks ago, and summer season's coming, July 4th weekend. Everyone, you're probably going to watch Jaws. So I got thinking about this movie. I went to see this with my son a couple of summers ago. In the August heat, we went to the air-conditioned movie theater to see this big, dumb prehistoric shark movie. I like the play on the artwork. It's like, here's 1975 Jaws going to get the little guy, but here's 2018 Megalodon coming to get the shark, which used to terrify you. Now you're more terrified of this. This has Jason Statham from the Transporter series, Lee Bingbing, Rainn Wilson, who's always hilarious, and Ruby Rose, who you might know from... That's right. She was Batwoman in the first season of Batwoman, if I'm not mistaken. So those some of the movies I'm talking about recently, picked up and or gonna watch, or did watch. So again, I will do a tour of my movies and tell you more about the ones I love and all that stuff, but I'll save that for down the road till I get more followers. And because if I do it now, like 2 people are going to see it, I'll wait for a little bit and we'll go through that. And so you probably see some little critters there. This is probably the most exciting thing I have. This is a Toxic Avenger candy dispenser. Yes, the 1991 candies are still in there, so maybe one day I will open those and taste them on one of my videos, just so you can see me cringe. And then this little guy is from my friend Christina, who gave this to me a couple summers ago, or last summer, I guess. And I was thinking earlier, it kind of looks like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but colorized. But I could be wrong. I've only seen that movie a couple of times, a long time ago. So, subscribe to the channel if you like it. Like the video if you like this video. Send me a comment. I would love to get to know some people out there in movie land. And I'll do another video in a beginning of next week and talking about some of the movies I've watched. And I probably won't go thrifting again though, because I was just at the thrift stores and they had restocked, but there wasn't anything really worth mentioning. So maybe I'll wait till Tuesday or Wednesday to go thrifting. I may take you along thrifting if I get that confidence to do that. Otherwise, it might be down the road. And I'm also on Instagram, Night Owl Video, which was an account I started for the strict purpose of selling VHS tapes over the Instagram, but that I never actually sold a tape. So it just became more of me talking about the movies and posting pictures of the tapes. So I'm just going to use that account in conjunction with this video channel as my promotion, and you can message me there if you want, or follow me, or or whatever. Or tell me, you can talk to me about the movies you've seen, or the tapes or discs that you've picked up or whatever. I love talking about movies. I don't really have many cinephiles in my direct world that I can talk to every day, so I'm hoping this might be a good outlet for me. I used to do radio, as some of you know, so this probably kind of comes naturally. The rambling will probably come naturally because that's what I used to do on the radio a lot. But anyway, I digress. Subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram, Night Owl Video, and I will be back in the coming days with some reviews, and I'll probably talk about some music down the road because I also listen to music like pretty much nonstop. If I'm not watching movies, I'm listening to music or trying to discover new bands and artists and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and I will be back in the near future. I'll see you in the video store.